Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's energy update with me, Rebecca.meisl. I am so excited to dive into this week's themes with you all. First off, a little apology for missing last week's reading. I've started up some new projects and some new work, so I've actually been super, super busy and haven't had the same amount of time as I normally do. But I really wanted to make sure we get this week's reading in. So, really excited to tune in. I hope you guys have had a great week. I hope lots of new things have been coming your way. I feel like the energies have been really pushing us to just let go and to welcome in the new. So, we're definitely going to see this theme of newness coming in this week. We're going to see this new energy coming in of what does it feel like to actually be in your new life? Who are you in your new life? Who are you as this new version of you who actually loves themselves, who actually wants to put themselves first? So, we're going to see some really beautiful things that are now ready to come in as we continue this process of the transformation that a lot of us have been going through. So, let's get into it channeled here. So, we have the game has ended. And then I heard the song, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. So, truth revealed is what came through next. Seeing the truth of one's own limitations and finding the help needed to see things through. How to move on quickly and efficiently with care. So this was really interesting. I'm going to pause this here because when it said the game has ended, it's almost like the game of life. And they were kind of showing me that where there is sometimes we can feel like we're literally in a game. And sometimes with the game, there can be that competitiveness, there can be that push and pull, there can be this awareness of, especially when we wake up and mature spiritually, to just how things are just perhaps not right or done the right way. And it can be quite burdening. It can be quite encumbersome. It can be quite frustrating, especially when we're first waking up in our spiritual path, to how things should be, right? And how we're just so not in that new earth or 5D mentality. But what was really cool is now we're finally understanding that, hey, we are in a 3D experience. And even if we're awake, even if we're aware, we kind of have to play by the rules of life. And they're kind of showing me this retaliation energy that's coming in. And for some of you, this is going to resonate with even just being a human being. We have so many of us who are star seeds, who are, old souls. And some of us have actually had this challenge of like, acceptance of accepting the earthly journey, accepting that we're in a human body and we're having a human experience. And even if we have all the knowledge in the world, we sometimes have to come to this drop in, like this energy landing in us of like, okay, I'm along for the ride. I'm figuring this out. I am letting things flow instead of needing to fight it or needing to shift it. So, what was really interesting was this surrender. They're just showing me like putting our hands up and being like, okay, I'm going to surrender to life. I'm going to stop trying to control everything. I'm not going to try to, force things anymore. I'm not going to try to reject the human experience anymore. And it's this beautiful grace that lands when we start recognizing the beauty of life and how, okay, maybe there are things that we don't like. Maybe there's things that should be changed, that we're feeling we want to advocate for, and that's not a problem. But they're kind of showing me how we're now flowing with it as opposed to being in our anger, as opposed to being in our wounding and taking things that step further than necessary. So we're throwing our hands up. We're going, you know what? I'm surrendering to life. I'm letting go. And we're letting things really kind of come and turn into our favor. So it's really beautiful, this newfound grace that we're experiencing. And that's what was so cool was this truth being revealed, seeing the truth of one's own limitations and finding the help needed to see things through. So when we drop into grace and when we drop into love, we start seeing things differently. We start seeing things through the lens of compassion. through the lens of perfectly imperfect, through this lens of, you know what, I'm in the human experience, I'm going to flow with it, and I'm just going to love everybody. I'm going to be in my love bubble, I'm going to be in my bubble of bliss. But then we're also coming to this awareness to apply that to ourselves of being like, okay, if I'm going to be love in this world, I have to make sure my love cup is topped up, that I'm getting the support I need, because that's what's loving for me, is to have my needs met. And also, looking at things with this larger lens of, okay, if I want to bring more love into my life, more love into my experience and to others, how can I get the help necessary on this mission? So, a lot of us are waking up to true potential, especially this week. We're getting these divine downloads around our purpose, our joy, what is really helping us advocate for that. And then taking this new mentality of like, I don't need to do this alone. There's other people that share my values, that share my interests, that share my passion. And they're showing this beautiful community that starts tying in together and this trust. So, you know how I was saying we're learning to trust life? This also goes into our relationships. They're actually showing me balancing the scales here. So, um, where we're finally leaning in to the possibility that, hey, maybe I can delegate things. Maybe I can entrust these new souls in my life, my soul family, with this precious jewel. They're showing me this precious jewel. So maybe it's your heart, maybe it's a passion, maybe it's whatever it is. You're trusting people now to follow through. And it's beautiful because I feel like the universe has also been opening our eyes to who can really show up for us and who can't. So we're taking these strides not only in our destinies and what we, our passions, but we're also taking very big strides in the heart chakra this week, opening it up. And they're showing me some fears releasing. Okay, so fears of perhaps the past where we couldn't trust others, where we couldn't lean in. Maybe we've been like, oh, can I actually trust people? I don't know. And that might come up this week as well. So, but regardless, the truth is coming to the surface that you can live a life of love. You can live a life that satisfies you, that fills you, that really allows you to really live the full human experience. And you're realizing you don't have to fear anymore, which is so, so amazing. And I believe last week's reading was a lot about that. It's like, you're safe. It's okay. You can lean into this experience. And you know what? Even if things do go awry, you've got your back now. You've learned how to love yourself. You've learned how to advocate for yourself and to seize those opportunities regardless of the fear. So it's really, really beautiful. So this week we might start waking up to our own limitations in this. So say this truth bomb lands and we're like, hey, this is what I want to do. But they're showing me someone who's kind of stumped, who needs help, maybe brainstorming, maybe, actually getting things off the ground to pursue your passions, to pursue your goals. And so this is where they're actually advocating for us to lean into support this week, finding those individuals, finding the outlets, finding the support, the help that's necessary for us to get to this goal. And it's so funny because I just hear in my mind right now, oh, they're very capable. They can do this by themselves. They can do it. However, they want a lot of us to start experiencing what it feels like to lean into others and to have this opportunity open for others to show their love, for others to help you, for you to be assisted. So they're showing me this very beautiful individual who stepped into their leadership and they're used to doing everything by themselves. They're used to forging their own path. But now it's like, okay, you've learned that. You know how to be a leader. You know how to advocate for yourself. You know how to do all this work. But where you struggle is actually stepping back and letting others help you, letting others support you. So, once again, we're learning this whole other energy, this whole other side of ourselves of like, who would I be if I just leaned into the flow, if I leaned into my feminine energy? Which is the receptive energy, which is this beautiful energy of like, hey, let the universe provide for you. Hey, let others provide for you because guess what? You deserve it too. So, this is what we're needing to experience and to learn. So, it's really beautiful. So, we might wake up to this awareness of like, hey, you know what? Actually, I kind of need help. I'm kind of stuck. I actually kind of want to lean into this feminine energy, and it's okay for me to let go. So it's beautiful. And this is what's helping us really take forward strides in this next chapter of our lives because it's like, wow, how much quicker I can accomplish things with help. So we have, you're now learning how to move on quickly and efficiently and with care. So they're showing me someone who's just been juggling all the hats, juggling all these different things. And that becomes a lot. And they're showing me this kind of being a stressor, this being very draining on this person's energy. So, of course, take what resonates for you, but then it's like, this light bulb moment comes on of like, hey, maybe if I get help, this can move a lot quicker. This can actually take burdens off me. This can help me move forward. So it's beautiful. So what came through here was releasing doubts and self-sabotage with a change in perspective. Seeing the power of your beliefs and what they hold over you. Ooh, this is so interesting. So, what if you no longer needed to give such power away? Seeing you truly do mold your future. So, this is super cool. Steadfast commitment, seeing your past as a milestone and knowing you're ready to see what's next. Destiny unfolds. You were with the wrong people, but now you're ready to find the right ones. So, once more, this amazing illumination this week to connections, people. I'm just hearing like who you know can help spearhead your dreams, can help spearhead your next chapter. And it's really beautiful because they're showing me this belief system that a lot of us have harbored where it's like, I can't trust anyone, or I can't leave this with anyone because I'm just going to be disappointed, or I just rather do it myself and not get hurt. So they're showing me the power of that belief and how that's actually super isolating for a lot of us. So they're showing me the comfort zone, which is to retract into your shell, which is to hide. And this year, this amazing year, is all about change. We're seeing so much crazy change that's happened already. So, this is going to make us push ourselves. This is going to encourage us to step out of our comfort zone into new territory, to cross boundaries we never thought we'd cross. And they're really showing me that a lot of us are going to struggle with this, especially in our relationships, especially when it comes to the giving and receiving, because they're really highlighting the heart chakra this week. So if you find yourself doing this week, retracting, being like, no, 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 I'm going to be self-sufficient. I don't want to have anyone to rely on. I don't want to be dependent on anyone. This is where we need to check ourselves, okay? Because they're kind of showing me this very strong belief system of, once again, nobody really wants to be there for me. No one really cares about me and wants to help me. It's almost like even when people offer, notice your first reaction when people offer to help you. Is your first reaction to go, yes, of course, thank you, I welcome help? Or is it, no, 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 That's okay. I'll do it myself. And they're kind of bringing this awakening that happens this week to where we are really clinging to this belief system that actually is damaging to us because guess what? You're a human being and you do need help sometimes. You do need support and advice sometimes. And they're bringing this awareness to compassion. It's like, have compassion for yourself. Realize it's okay if you need to loosen your grip on things, if you need to take a step back, if you need to rest, if you would like help, because they're showing me deep down, we want it. We want help. So, where do we have a barrier up, a wall up that is preventing us from receiving the help that's necessary? And this is actually hindering our abundance. So, once more, this goes very deep. So, a lot of us are going to be going into this week. Where am I saying no to help and, in fact, saying no to abundance? Because that, my friend, is an energy. And we have to remember our manifestations don't just apply to thought and word. It's about the frequency that we're carrying, it's about what we're projecting energetically every single day. So, do you have a big stop sign up energetically going, no, 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 don't get close. No, 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 don't help. No, 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 I'm good. You know, this is where we have to start opening that door. And they're just like, be willing. Just be willing, right? Because some of us were so stuck in this mentality. This has perhaps been our reality. Maybe there's been nobody else to ever help us. So we have to feel into that. That womb might come up, and we'll have to feel that. We'll have to let ourselves go into it and be like, okay, it sucked. It really sucked not getting the help I needed. It was really devastating. It was really heartbreaking when people did not show up for me. But now I need to reevaluate my circumstances and go, is this still true? Like, they're kind of showing me how many of us have removed the toxicity from our lives and we're living very different lives. So, once again, even just through this past eclipse we had, a lot of our lives have dramatically changed since this past eclipse. So, even a very short amount of time. But that doesn't mean the change has not really happened. We have to let the truth land. We're living a new life. We've created a new chapter. So now this is the time to reevaluate what you believe. It is very important to check in and go, what needs updating? What needs release? Because I'm not going to live my past anymore. I'm ready to move forward. So this is what's so beautiful this week is we're each getting this opportunity to take the leap of faith. And once again, it might make us feel vulnerable. It might make us feel afraid because it's like, oh my God, I have to share my heart. I have to tell people, hey, I kind of need help. And it might be awkward. It might be hard for a lot of us to be vulnerable and to open that door. But they're like, look at what is on the other side of that door. Have you taken a minute to stop and to think about that? What's on the other side of help? Right? What could spearhead your dreams and goals? How could this truly change your life and your abundance level and level of receiving energy the minute you just start saying yes and stop saying no? And once again, they're showing me this reframing of the mindset to, if you're saying, like, I'm willing to receive, I am willing to have help, universe, I am open to receiving abundance today in any form it takes. And then they're kind of showing me a commitment that follows through here. So the minute we start saying this, we have to follow through. So if you ask the universe, I'm setting the intention today to receive the help that I need, then we need to be saying yes to those opportunities. So once again, the universe can meet us halfway. It can go, here you go. Here's the opportunity. Here is this chance. But you are the one who has the free will. So we can deny or accept that. opportunity. So they're really showing me this push that they're giving us to expand the heart chakra, to open up our ability to receive and saying yes. So another little tidbit, notice how often you say no. Notice how often you are refusing help. You are refusing an offer of love. And to remember, this is other people's opportunity to show up for you. So don't knock it. Don't send it away. The more you do that, the more you're putting that embodied in your frequency. Don't help me. I'm good. But now we want the opposite to flow. So this is cool. This is really, really beautiful because this is propelling our destiny. So we have destiny unfolds. You were with the wrong people. Okay. But now you're ready to find the right ones. So this is so clarifying of what we're experiencing in the heart. Once again, we might have had some bad experiences. We might have been hurt in the past, but now, no, no, no. We're ready to say goodbye to that chapter and we're ready to open up the new one. So let's see what we got next. We have seeing potential in everything, not getting attached to outcomes or perspectives that do not serve you. Timelines are fruitless. All you have is the present. Do with it as you will, but don't waste away in sadness or doubt. Life happens today, in the here and the now. Make time to pray, to release the obstacles standing in your way. Self doubt and loss can be cleared with the lift of a finger. You're already living your dream life. It's only a matter of perspective. Through fog, the way becomes clear. Don't resent your lessons. Learn from them, grow, and then shine. Okay, this was so cool because this was really reaffirming here this power of our belief. Because once again, if we believe we're never going to make it, you probably won't. And that's the fact. Because even if this success comes in, even if the help comes in, even if the support and the perfect circumstances come in, are you willing to say yes to that? Are you truly going to believe this is it, or are you going to immediately jump to the next thing? So, this is where this grounded belief in self needs to come in, where we are truly believing we're deserving and truly embodying the frequency of abundance here and now. So, this is where they're really advocating to not get attached to what success looks like and to not get attached to the timeline of that, because a lot of us, we compare, right? And what does that do? It's the thief of joy, for one. And secondly, it makes us feel insufficient, right? Because it's like, well, I'm not there yet. I don't have this yet. I'm at this stage. I'm at that mark. I should be here. But they're really telling us this week, like, whoa, it takes however long it takes, and to stop comparing yourself and instead dropping into the present and going, what is already success to me? What has already been fulfilled? What has already been amazing? So they're kind of showing me the skipping steps where we've skipped over the triumphs we've already had, the accomplishments we've already had and done. And we're just going straight to the next thing. And they're like, no, 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 no. We need you to learn how to celebrate yourself, to anchor in abundance, not for later, but for right now. So if you want to experience abundance now, it starts in the present moment. And this is what's so cool is we're getting this retraining of the brain, this retraining of our beliefs, and coming to this very logical conclusion that, hey, if I just shifted my belief, if I just shifted my perspective, it could actually change my whole life. So if we go from this awareness of believing you're unlovable, believing you're not good enough, believing you'll never make it, to the opposite. How would that shift things in your daily experience? So, this is actually something they want us to dive into this week. If I just stopped believing this negative thought, how would that change things? And if I just called out this negative belief system, how would that change my life? So they're once again showing this awareness drop in of like believing this old story. And then we're like, oh, you know what? That's actually not true anymore. So, as an example, if we thought we were unlovable for years and years and years, all of a sudden that thought pops in, well, I'm not loved, I'm not supported. But then we're actually getting the opposite in our life. People are showing up, people are going, how can I help? Where have we blinded ourselves to the truth? But this week, we're getting that truth bomb. We're getting that truth being revealed. Whoa, actually, this is an old belief system that I don't need to believe anymore. This is an old, hurtful thought that, guess what? I don't need to carry with me anymore. And we're choosing to heal it. And they're showing me that this is different than bypassing. Okay. So, once again, if you have emotions that come up, it is so important that you feel them, that you experience them, that you release them. That is not what I'm saying, is not to skip over that part. But it's coming to this conclusion of once we have felt those things and we've honored those parts of ourselves, we've honored the past, we're now making a very strong commitment to now leave them there, to let them go, to not keep reopening that wound and keep believing that belief that makes us stay in suffering. Because that's what we do. When we hold on to our past like this, it re-loops the suffering. And it reloops and it reloops, and we re injure ourselves every single time we open that back up. Instead of going, you know what? I've got to choose myself. I've got to advocate for myself. And I am ready to let this be my past, not my reality, not my future. So this strength drops in and anchors in this week. And it's so phenomenal because we're finally understanding I choose my life. I create my reality. And it starts with my thoughts. It starts with my beliefs. And it really drops in how powerful you are. So we're really waking up to the truth. Hey, every single thought you have, every single stream of energy you partake in, you are a willing participant. So you need to choose exceptionally wisely what you are drawing attention to, what you are purposely, whether intentionally or not, consuming energetically every single day. So, this is where self worth then takes another elevated level in life because once again, we're coming to this awareness, wow, I deserve better than this. I do deserve better than this belief, than this thought, than this negativity. And you choose it. So, wow, huge empowerment happening this week. It's amazing. So, we have this amazing awareness of like removing the timelines because they're fruitless, literally fruitless. If you put a timeline on something, you are actually immediately putting it off to the future. And you're not actually giving yourself the open possibility that things can come a lot quicker and more organically, or trusting the timeline of when it's actually right to bear fruit. So they're kind of showing me this awareness of pushing, 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 pushing. I need this ready now. I want this now. And it's so hard for us, especially when we get excited about something, to want to rush it. But they're kind of just showing me this loop of pushing, 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 working, working, working. And then the success arrives. We don't even know how to enjoy the success. We don't even know how to claim it. We don't even know how to celebrate it until we're on to the next thing. And then we're pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. So once again, this is that loop of self-sabotage because it's like here you're wanting happiness, here you're wanting joy, here you're wanting to revel in your success, but you never give yourself the chance before you're on to the next thing until you're consistently driving home. This is what I've got to do next now before I can live a happy life, before I can be successful, before I can, yeah, yeah, yeah. So they're kind of giving this awareness of once again, like, down, slow down, let things happen organically, remove the pressure from yourself, enjoy the abundance that's here. So once again, when this reminder drops in, all we have is the present. And if you don't slow down and enjoy it, tomorrow is never guaranteed. So it's like here you're thinking, well, when this is done, then I'll be able to enjoy my life. But once again, that's the future. And we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So why not drop into the now, savor the now, be successful now, embody abundance now, not later. So, the power of gratitude, my friends, the power of celebration, the power of joy is going to be your biggest ally this week. So, really learn how to have fun again, learn how to drop into play. It's so, so important. So, we have all you have is the present, do with it as you will. So, once again, we have the choice. It is up to us. We are the ones who have the free will. So, make it great. That's what's coming through here. So, life happens today, here and now. Make time to pray to release the obstacles standing in your way, self-doubt and loss. These can be cleared with the lift of a finger. This is so cool. So, once again, the power the universe has, the power you have with your free will is immense and is amazing. And once again, we've been taught that we have no power. We give our power away to everything, to everyone, to circumstance, to even sometimes our guides and to other sources. However, this week we are learning to reclaim it and recognize, hey, maybe I actually can heal this. And perhaps it's just a matter of choice. So, once again, are you truly willing? Are you truly willing to move on? Are you truly willing to let go? Have you made the decision? This isn't going to rule over my life anymore. I am the ruler of my life. So, this real big push to become the leader is really coming in. So, once again, question everything. Start questioning those beliefs this week. And this is where it's so important to once again welcome in the help of your guides because they can help illuminate these things, our blind spots this week. So, they're actually bringing a highlight to that of things we weren't aware of that were happening behind the scenes, or belief systems we weren't even realizing we were still instating and still believing deep down, right? So this is on a very subconscious level. But what's so amazing is these things can be cleared, and they said as easily as if a lift of a finger. So once again, are you believing that your healing journey needs to be hard, needs to be arduous, needs to be this constant struggle? That's not how it should all be, my friends. Yes, okay, we got some times where we got to feel the grief, we got to feel the hurt, and that might hurt. It might not feel great, but at the same time, have we committed ourselves to that belief system that every time I heal, it's through this mentality? Or can I heal through joy? Can I heal with this belief system and shifting it and allowing others to assist me, allowing others to help me? So, once again, they're showing me someone being very independent, trying to heal everything on their own. There are people that can help. There are individuals who've come through extraordinary journeys that can help you. your guides who are willing to help you. So where once again are we caught in the sleep of self-sufficiency? I'm not letting anyone else help me. We need help, friends. And once again, this belief system transitions to, what do you believe? Do you believe you can heal? Do you truly believe you can heal? It's time to think about that. And how quickly can you heal? So, once again, a lot of times we get awareness to a wound or to something that needs healing. And then we pick and we pick and we pick and we worry and we worry and we worry and we obsess and we obsess and we obsess instead of just going, it's healing, it's healed. Instead of instating that true belief, even though like deep down we know it's possible, it's like, I know this is going to heal. I know I'm going to get through this. I know this isn't forever. And we tend to just give into that fear and loop and loop and loop it instead of reinforcing this new belief that, hey, this is what I actually believe, and I'm going to choose my new belief now. And it's amazing what happens. They're kind of showing me like this overnight shift that actually happens. And we're like, wow, I didn't even think that was possible. But here it is. It's possible and it's happening. So amazing. So then from there, we get this awareness. I'm already living the dream. I'm already living my dream life. Here I was chasing success. Here I was running after it. Here I was going on to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, instead of dropping in to the beauty that's already here. All right. So, this is what's so beautiful. You're already living your dream life. It's only a matter of perspective. So wake up to the blessings, wake up to the goodness that's already surrounding you. And it's really healing the heart when you do. You know, sometimes we're once again chasing the next thing that we think is going to heal us or help us or do something for us. But they're just kind of showing like you have all the power, you have all the tools in your arsenal, you already have so much beauty in your life. You just need to soak it in. Like, so stop and soak it in. Soak in the good that's already available. And this is where we heal so much because we're showing me when we slow down, we start seeing where we were resenting the journey because it's very natural for us, once again, when we get into comparisons, when we get into this awareness of like, well, I should be here, and this is the timeline I'm supposed to follow, and I'm just not there. We can then get resentful and being like, well, what's wrong with me? Why couldn't I get there? Why couldn't I get the relationship? Why couldn't I have the job already? Why couldn't I already be successful? And then we build a resent against even our dreams and the journey we're on instead of realizing this is my journey and it's just going to be what it's going to be. And I can just soak in my journey and not resent it and just love every minute. That is always accessible to me. So they're bringing this eye-opening experience in this week where we finally start recognizing, hey, like, I don't want to resent my life. I don't want to resent others. I don't want to resent my business or my dreams or my goals or my relationship because it's just not there where I feel it should be. You know, it's we're releasing this and it's so beautiful. So don't resent your lessons. Learn from them, grow, and shine. That's exactly what this human experience is. It's a plethora of all, right? It's this full spectrum experience. And the more we start accepting that, the happier we become, the less attached we become to the outcome of our lives, the way things should be, instead of dropping into what things already are and the goodness that's already there. So, realigned vision, clear sight ahead. A new dawn has come, and it's all been designed to set you free. Now, isn't this true? Like the minute we wake up to this, the minute we wake up to the beauty that's already there, to the belief systems we're really believing, and we choose differently, it's all freeing us, right? The minute we celebrate ourselves and our how great we already are, Like, don't you just feel the shift in the energy the minute you change your mindset? Like, that's how easily things can shift in your life is by shifting your perspective, by shifting your energy, by shifting your perspectives. And it's like magic. They're literally showing me this magic wand, just like, yep, there you go. You've shifted it all. And it's so, so amazing because once again, it wakes us up to our power of what we really, really can do. So clear sight ahead. So, so magical. A new dawn has come and it's all been designed to set you free. So, yes, everything you've gone through, everything you've, seen and experienced, there's always a choice. It can ensnare you, it can keep you caged, it can keep you suppressed and in pain and in suffering, or you can choose to rise above. And that is exactly the choice we all have every single day when anything comes up. I can let this hold me back. I can let this hold me down, or I can choose to rise out of the suffering and choose more, choose better, choose to believe, right? So think of that. Every choice you have, every perspective you partake in and feed into, every thought, really be mindful. Is this freeing me or is this making me a slave? It's the truth. And sometimes the truth is not easy to look at, but they're really, really pushing us. Look at it. Look at what you're truly participating in. Look at what you're truly doing with your life. Are you perpetuating more abundance or are you perpetuating more suffering? So, this is where we have this little bit of a warning here this week. Be wary of your footsteps, the jagged edge, so you may not slip or fall. Don't falter now. Be strong in your belief in yourself. Take the plunge. Be a leader. Limitless ideas, cutting through the eye of the storm, realizing the worst is over. Okay, this is so cool. So let's pause here. So when it says be wary of your footsteps, once again, it's like, yeah, be thoughtful, be mindful of where you are placing your foot. Is it going to be off the edge? Are you going to fall back into old patterns, into old ways? Right? They're kind of showing me someone walking like the balancing beam, and it's like between two paths. So it's like, are you going to turn back and go back? Are you going to let yourself fall? Or are you going to maintain the balance? Are you going to allow yourself to take a next step forward? So we have to be mindful. Where are we placing our time, our energy, our thoughts? What are we consciously choosing or unconsciously choosing on a daily level? And this is what changes life. This is what changes everything for us is this awareness. So stay strong in yourself, be strong in your beliefs. Don't falter now. You've come too far, my friend. You've come way too far to falter now, to hold back, to be afraid. Let's go for it. Let's do this. Let's commit. And this is where these unlimited ideas start falling in. And it's so funny because they're literally showing me these thoughts falling like almost feathers from heaven and they're being absorbed into the crown chakra. So it's just like, vroom, vroom, vroom. And they're divinely inspired ideas that are coming in the minute you allow yourself to grab them and go, yes, I'm taking this. And this is the next level from here because the minute we start recognizing abundance is everywhere, we could then take it, right? Because when we're in this mindset of abundance isn't here yet, it's never here, I'll never make it, you're totally bypassing and avoiding and not even seeing what's right there, ready for you to take. So they're showing me the hand reaching out this week and grabbing it and going, I'm doing this, baby. I am going for it. And it's so amazing what shifts. So be mindful of your thoughts, be mindful of the ideas, Be mindful of your dreams. Be mindful of what other people say to you this week because a lot of things are going to be divinely orchestrated for you to hear, for you to get that message, for you to get the reaffirming message. Okay, so they're kind of showing me this ideal land, and then other people just magically coming in and be like, hey, you should do this. And you'll be like, oh my God, I just thought of that the other day. Or, oh my gosh, I just had a dream about me doing that the other day. And it's like these these people are divinely sent to reaffirm your message, to reaffirm your intuition, your intuitive pull. Okay. So we need to once more slow down this week and observe and feel into the downloads we've been getting, into the ideas we've been getting, and being like, you know what? It's time for me to stop waiting for things to happen. It's time for me to start and grab hold and do it. So, very, very cool. So, we're cutting through the eye of the storm. The worst is over. Even keel, smooth sailing, all hands on deck. You have help. Fated choices, chosen mistakes, learning to live in love and compassion. Okay, this is so cool. So, once again, from there, we have a very destined path. And sometimes when we get a divinely inspired idea, we can go full throttle in, and that's wonderful. That's what we're being called to do. But to remember to leave room for error, okay? Because they're kind of showing me once again, we kind of get all in this like all or nothing mentality. Everything's going to work out perfectly. And they're kind of showing me some unrealistic expectations of yourself, okay? So this is where we have to once again step back and go like, okay, maybe not everything's going to be perfect. Even if it's divinely inspired, there's going to be things I need to learn. There's going to be mistakes that will be made. And sometimes it'll be those things where we're like, I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm just going to do it. And that's where they're kind of showing me the chosen mistakes of being like, you know what? Instead of waiting and being patient and letting things flow, sometimes we have to let things flow and not push. They're kind of showing me that sometimes things might get a little muddled, and that's okay. That's okay. That's what the journey is about. So, having realistic expectations for yourself in this next chapter of being like, okay, it's not going to be perfect. I know there's going to be bumps in the road. I know there's going to be things that will happen, but this is where the compassion comes in. This is where this understanding of yourself, your ability, and support that is available to you can really be key. So I love that. But overall, we're getting this amazing message of smooth sailing. Things are going to work out. Okay. Things are going to work out. And I love how they put this all hands on deck. You have help. And now you're learning how to accept it, which is so beautiful. So it's all fated, my friends. You are meant to have help. You are meant to have abundance. You deserve all of it. So just make sure those belief systems are aligning with that truth. I deserve help. I deserve abundance. I deserve this beautiful experience of life. And I deserve to have compassion for myself, even if things go a little awry, right? So it's really, really beautiful, this encouragement that we're getting this week, this eye-opening experience of the full life, right? Because let's be honest, if we're a human being, we're meant to be human. Okay, you're in this body for a reason. You're having this experience because you chose this experience as a soul. So we have to take it as it comes. We have to let go of what things should be so we can start focusing on what is already. And so, if anything this week from this reading, drop into the now, drop into the love, drop into the goodness, and keep repelling that, right? The more you're in goodness, the more you're in the frequency of love, the more you're in the frequency of receiving help and abundance and support, the more that's going to propel in your life. So, once again, take a good look. How often are you in that frequency as opposed to not? And how can you make those shifts every single day to be more in that abundance mind frame? So, friends, that's all I have for this week. Really, really beautiful reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to just pull us a little card to end our reading today. So, let's see what we get. Any last messages that we need to know for our week ahead, Spirit? Okay. Oh, this is too funny. I love it. Okay. So we have law of attraction. So yeah, once again, just what we were talking about. What we are putting out is going to come back. So be mindful, right? Then we have the goddess card, which is hilarious. This is all about divine feminine energy, right? So receiving, being in that energy of flow, nurturing, compassion. And then we have the ascended masters card. And I love this so much because throughout this reading, I kept getting the energy of Kuan Yin, who is a beautiful ascended master. And I'm actually going to be making a podcast very shortly all about Karuna Reiki, which really advocates with the divine masters and specifically working with Kuan Yin, this very passionate, compassionate energy. So I really, really encourage you guys to call in those energies that can help you embody this energy this week, that can help you surrender, that can help you drop into your femininity and embrace that wholeheartedly. So the last card I have is the crystals card, which is so cool. So I'm just getting like crystals absorb energies. So if you're feeling like you have a lot to release, they're actually showing me like a smoky quartz or any sort of crystal you have that you feel is appropriate for you, you feel drawn to it intuitively to really visualize this week, giving that energy over to the crystal. So a little practice that I do that's quite wonderful is asking your crystal first off for permission because everything is an energy. Everything has consciousness, in my opinion. So, with that, ask your crystals, are you willing to help me? Are you willing to take this energy for me? And the moment you get that affirmative, allow yourself to go into a bit of a meditation and visualize where any of that negative energy that you're feeling or harvesting in your body is. And envision that flowing out from your body into the crystal. The crystal's willing to receive it, right? Once again, willing to help you. Isn't that amazing? Using the tools that are willing to help you, these beautiful divine streams of consciousness. So visualize, right? Giving the crystal all that energy, all of that hurt, all of that pain, any of that negativity, and asking it to take it away for you. And they're just showing me this amazing release that happens with this visualization technique. So many of us were very visual, and we need to be utilizing that visualization technique in our daily lives. So, visualize clearing that energy out of your field, releasing it completely, and handing it over to the universe to transmute for you. So, really, really beautiful. I love how these cards came up to sum up some additional messages here. Let me know how they resonate for you. And I'm wishing you all such a beautiful, wonderful week ahead. Bye, guys.